Hello, folks. Today is December 9th, 2024. Getting close to the end of the year. Anyway, if any of you looked at the thumbnail, you'll find out that my show is about Tiffany. And Tiffany's in trouble. She's got a lot of problems. What she's going to do, I have no. We're going to speculate. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to speculate, and I'll let you folks speculate too. But hey, Mickey, how you doing? Dave Grippy, how you doing? Frank Ferrero, how you doing? You guys hit that like button, huh? As I'm calling off your names. Tim Hunt, how you doing, buddy? Benjamin, how you doing? Duke's eating up everything, including me. Hey, Red, that's a sexy. Believe it or not, there are some poses that she has sexy on. But Scott, she is something else. So anyway, what are we going to do with Tiffany? Well, nobody really knows what we're going to do with Tiffany yet, but I have some good ideas. I have some very good ideas. Tiffany, she's madder than hell. She's madder than a wet hen. And she's got a lot to be mad about. I mean, her minions questioned her authority, and that really got her going. And then they found out some dirt about her. That got her going. She's a single mother with a child that is still in the process of being evicted with her boyfriend. And that's got her going. They repossessed another car that belonged to the city of Dalton, or the village of Dalton. But her mother was driving that car. It was an SUV. And so that was taken away. Gradually, slowly but surely, they're eating her away. They're eating away at her. And it's really got to be crazy. Very crazy. Kirby W., hi from Antioch. How you doing, buddy? Christopher, how you doing? So, it gets worse. She fires a police chief, and he sues her, and he wins. Now the city of Dalton has to pay her. And the village board that she's Thornton Township had a surplus of $5 million when she got there. Here it is, less than a term away. Term is 4 years, and it's over $3 million in debt. That's $8 million. Where did it go? Well, it didn't go to the citizens. It didn't go to any of the things it was supposed to go to. But one day she had a spending spree on Amazon. $140,000 in one day on Amazon. Of course, she used Thornton Township credit card. So these people have taken the credit cards away from her. And now that they've taken the credit cards away from her, she is so upset, it's pathetic. She's madder than a wet hen. So, what is she going to do about it? Well, she said she was going to file a lawsuit this morning, and she didn't. But she was going to sue, I don't know, the people that were involved in the democratic process of taking her off of the ticket, making sure somebody else was on the ticket for Thornton Township. They're also trying to remove her as mayor, so she can't serve the last 90 days It's kind of like a Biden thing. There's only so many days left, and they can't get, they don't have a quorum, or she can't get a quorum in her name. So she's trying to appoint somebody. And while she's trying to appoint them, guess what? The other people are blocking it. And while they're blocking it, you know what they're doing? They're causing a delay. But she's starting to scream. Unless we get a budget, unless I get some money from you folks, we aren't going to have any insurance. And it won't be paid. With no insurance, we have liabilities. We don't have any vehicle insurance. We don't have insurance on us. We don't have insurance on anything that happens. Somebody falls on our property. We don't have any liability insurance. So I need all you people to get back here so we can do what we have to do. Well, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Because Tiffany, there is money there, but it's in the general fund. It's not in an appointed fund. And for a municipality or a village or whatever that has not filed in the last 2 years, they have not filed a balanced budget. How are they going to get any money? The only way they're going to get it is from the people, and the people are so poor. I mean, it's not a wealthy community. This is not Lake Forest, guys. This is not Winnetka. This is not, it's nowhere near. I mean, the average income there is probably under $50,000 a year. But there's Tiffany. She's got it. So she's saying, oh, what am I going to do? Well, she talks about suing people. That's not going to work. First of all, she doesn't have the lawyer anymore. Scott, you got a good question here. Whatever happened to the investigation by Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice, or commonly known as Lori Lightfoot, made a statement 2 days ago. She said, I will be finished with my investigation on the 20th. I assume that's the 20th of this month. So it's like Merry Christmas. Here it is. Give me my bill, or give me my money. Here's my bill, which I don't know. They hired her. The board did. And I think they'll have to pay her. But I think they have the money for that. It's just a matter of they don't want her to go crazy and pay for the overtime of police officers. That's another issue. They don't have a chief of police. This is like the biggest joke I ever saw. She fired the first chief. Then she put her stormtrooper buddy in there. Then they found out that he wasn't certified by the state of Illinois. So therefore, they bounced him out. Then she took somebody and put them in as an interim chief of police. But she didn't have the board approval. So he's out. So the last time I saw the policemen interviewed, they were very confused. They don't know who they work for. They work for their watch commander. That's about it. And that's the way it seems to be going. Very sad. The real sad part is that the people that are suffering are not the politicians. They're not the politicians at all. Not the board members. But I believe the board members are doing the best they can. They're trying to hold her back for another 90 days. If they can hold her off for 90 days, they're going to have another election. And then the state senator that won, Mr. Simpson, he will be the head of the Thornton Township plus state senator, which I believe he can do. Now, some people would say he didn't live in Dalton when he filed his application. I don't think that's necessary. Not in Illinois. And as far as the trial goes, Tim Hunt, you're asking about the trial. Her trial? they can take their time. I mean, they got all the time in the world. I'm sure she's going to be tried for dishonest fraud, uh, defrauding the people, defrauding the public. I'm sure that's where it's going. But aside from that, she's going to get hit with IRS. She didn't pay taxes on any of that money. She spent the city's money, the township's money, and never paid taxes on it. You have to do that. You have to declare it. But this is a spiral. It's going downhill. Even Mayor Johnson's worried in the city of Chicago. He's concerned. It's going crazy. The dumb crooks get caught in the Windy City. Yes, you're right, Tim. They do get caught. But I think it's all over the country. I just think Tiffany's a good target right now. They're talking about her in California. They're talking about her in Texas. She became famous. And she's a single parent. She didn't graduate from high school. She got her GED. And then went to some community college. Yes, Scott, she still is the mayor. She still is the mayor. And they voted her out as supervisor to run in the election. Right now, she's still a sitting supervisor. But to avoid those meetings, because she was coming in late, whatever, some of the board members got an idea. Hey, wait, if we don't have a quorum or we're not here, she can't hold a meeting without us. And without a meeting, she can't do anything. So that's what's happening. And they're beating at her own game. And like I said, she's madder than a wet hen. She wants revenge. And she's already talking about it. I hear people complaining about Donald Trump, saying that he wants revenge against the people that wronged him. Well, guess what? This one does too. And she invoked Donald Trump's name. We're going to have a wave just like Trump did. It won't be a wave like that. It's a wave that she's going to drown in. It's not going to be bad. Vito, you get what you vote. That's the truth. You really do, Vito. You get what you vote for. Nothing new. Well, it is to Tiffany. She thought she was going to change the world around her, and she did, but it was a temporary thing. Like I said, as a single parent, she made it to become Thornton Township supervisor, and after that, she became Dalton's mayor. But she passed some stuff where if she doesn't hold that seat, nobody's going to get paid the kind of money she's getting paid. Everything, it's coming back on her. The public hates her. She's not well liked. She did a big thing on Facebook, a live on Facebook last week. And I thought it was very impressive because she was trying to appeal to people for a change instead of being an alarmist and saying how bad she'd been wronged. And she really believes that she's been wronged by these other people. She doesn't see the damage that she caused. I really believe that when I look at her. Her wigs are paid for. Her manicure is paid for. It's not on her money. And she's got a $300. She makes over $300,000 on a salary. And she doesn't own her own home. She rents. Do you know why she rents? She rents for one reason. She doesn't own it. Nobody can take it away. That's what she's doing. Scott H., 100% on narcissistic. She's narcissistic. 100%. She's a narcissist. You got it. 100%. That's exactly what she is. She doesn't see it. My prediction, the trial won't be for a while. They have the FBI. I'm sure they want to see Lori Lightfoot's report. I'm sure they want to dig into all the other things they can get. They have all the time in the world. She's choking herself. And that's the way it is, folks. So thank you all for stopping by on my Monday, which I haven't been doing regularly lately. But I will be back next. Hey, my vlog. It's Adam. How's Duke doing? He's playing with a bone in the kitchen after he scratched the shit out of me. See my arm? I'm bleeding, folks. Get away from me. Go on. Move. Go. Not only one arm, the other arm too. You're not a good boy. You're a headache. And I just got him a new collar today too. He's something else. Better than the squeaker? No. I don't like him chewing into my arm or scratching my arm. But he's carrying the squeaker around with him. He's throwing it around by himself. I have the feeling he thinks I'm mad at him. And he's right. No sooner than you say it, and there it goes at him. She said she was going to, but the last I checked, she hadn't filed it yet, Laurie C. She said she was going to file it, but last I checked, she had not filed it yet. And said she was intending to file it. She made a statement today. Okay, that's enough. Christina, you got it. He's in the doghouse. This thing hurts. I don't know if you can see it, folks, but it hurts. And that's from his claws. He jumped up and got me. Laurie C., she just filed it within the past hour. Okay. So she's going. That lawsuit is not going anywhere, Laurie. Here's my opinion, and strictly my opinion. Get away from me. The what you call it? The place where they held the caucus was the gymnasium. I believe it was in Homewood. And it has a capacity of so many people. Well, she got there late. By the time she rounded up her backers or whatever, she got there late. And it had already reached the maximum capacity. Why? Because they had a state senator show up. A state senator can bring 2,000-3,000 people with him as followers. Not a mere 40 like she has. So they wouldn't let her. They wouldn't let all of her followers in. They let her in, but they didn't let her followers in. And that was it. That's the way it went. So check private comments. Okay, hold on a second. Oh my God. This is the house that she's renting? Wow. The house is only $122,000. Why didn't she buy it? Only one reason. You can't take it away. There's a caddy. There, you see the caddy and the Lexus in the front of the house? I think she's home. Yeah, this is a very true thing. As I look at it, the houses or the cars are worth more than the house. But that's the way she wants to live. She is a mess. Truly is a mess. Let me tell you. But she's not happy. She's madder than a wet hen. It's outrageous. Oh, I'm not worried about getting infected. I could throw on some alcohol on it. Wouldn't bother me. I could throw something else on too. But it hurts. He just did this. Leanne, rolling along. How you doing? How you doing, sweetheart? Jim Jagger with his public announcement here. It's 4:20, folks. McCure come. Nah, McCure comes for pussies. I put iodine on it or alcohol, one of the two. McCure come. It's not like I'm, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old anymore. Yes, it has been a long time no see. It really has. But it is good to see you. Hey, do me a favor, Donna. Hit that like button. Now that you're here, please. I need all the help I can get. Believe me. Chain Weaver. Late again. Damn it anyway. Chain Weaver, you made it. And that's all that counts. Even if you didn't, if you watched it and made a comment afterwards, I wouldn't be angry. I'm not angry at you folks anyway. I just, the only people I really get angry at are the people that come in while I'm doing a chat and they say crude and rude and bad things. And I don't care if it's on anybody's chat, it's uncalled for. Just don't say things like that, people. You don't call them names. And I relate to movies a lot. And one thing I really got a kick out of was Jack Nicholson, As Good as It Gets. I love the movie, period. But one thing that he told the waitress when they were exchanging words, and he said, I have not let this get personal. I did not call you any names. And she took a deep breath, like, yeah, because she did. So that's the part that's personal, when people start calling you names and doing things. But hey, it's going to be like that in life. It has been. Not a lot for me. A small amount. I think you're a bigger target when you go on YouTube. But let's get back to Tiffany. She's not going to leave easily. She's not going to go easily. Her lawsuit that she filed today, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. The fact that they didn't let her people in, I don't think the judge is even going to care about that. I don't think they're going to have a new caucus or a new election or whatever. She said she didn't want a caucus. She wanted an election, a primary. But as it is, they can only write her name in. She's not going to be on the ballot. So you're going to have a Democrat and a Republican, and the Democrat is already a state senator. I think it's going to be a landslide in his favor, like 80% or better. Really, it's going to go that way. So she's unhappy, and that's the way it's going to be. Anywho, Joseph. Hey, Red. Hi, Red. Where are the state of Illinois leaders at? I don't know, but the governor of Illinois just announced that he will be running on the Democratic ticket for president. the next election, 2028. The rest of the leaders, I don't know where they're at. She will be toast. There won't be any write-ins for her. When is her term up? Her term is up right here in early in 2025. They have a primary somewhere, I believe it's in January, which is coming up, not far away. Maybe it's in February. I'll look it up, but it's early. They said she only has 90 days, and they own her. That's it. It's over. She's a lame duck. So, and the odd thing is, when this whole thing started about a year ago, I made a comment on somebody else's video, and I said the best way to get rid of her is don't even wait for the FBI, because they got a big name, but they're not going to do anything right away. Don't wait for the IRS. They'd like to keep it open another 5 years and get all the money they could. But she doesn't own any property. She doesn't own a house. She doesn't own a car. That's the way it is. Teflon Don, thank you so much. You're out of order, trustee. You're out of order. Yes. They're all out of order. That's the way it is, Teflon Don. They're out of order, but they're in order. They're getting their house in order. And how can you complain about that? I can't find a reason. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker, buddy. I appreciate it. Everything I do, please hit the like button. That I'd appreciate too. BSJ, how much jail time do you think she will receive? I don't know. I turned in a county commissioner here in Florida, and they had him with racketeering, all different kinds of charges, and he pleaded guilty to one charge, maybe 8 or 9 counts of dishonest fraud. And they gave him 37 months in a federal penitentiary in Miami, and they took everything he owned, cash, any trust funds that he set up for his children, any place where they could follow the money. His State Farm Insurance Agency, they took that away from him. They took everything, his cars, house, everything. When he came out of prison, he went to a halfway house and had nothing. Zero. No bank account, no phone, no house, no home. His family, his brother took him in, things like that. That's the way it was. So what do I think? Minimum. What's 36 months is what? 3 years? So he did 37 months, so a little over 3 years. I think he was sentenced to 4 months, but that's how it went. So she's going to get some time. She's not a violent person, so she's not going to get that kind of time. It's the restitution. And for all you folks that believe that, oh, I don't have anything. I don't have any income. I don't have any money now. Guess what? It stays on her income tax. She will never get a return in her life. Anytime she earns money, any place, the IRS will take it. They will take her money. Tim, I predicted this a long time ago. I think that she'll have a public defender. I don't think she can afford anything else. Teflon Don, Red, always enjoyed your streams here in Bradenton. You're in Bradenton, Florida? I used to live right there in Sarasota. Teflon Don? I even know some people that live down there. They still live down there from when I lived down there. I heard the jetties open down there. or what do they call that? Midnight Pass down that direction. It's connected to Sarasota Key. When I lived in Bradenton, or when I lived in Sarasota, Anna Maria Island was a vacant island. You could walk across it every day. Now it's a place where it's crazy. If that's where you're at, buddy. Jim Jagger, maybe she'll try to leave the country. With what? There's no country that's going to take her with $0. You got to buy your way in those kind of countries. By George, Teflon Don, I got to tell you something. When I first moved to Sarasota, they didn't have the SRQ, the airport, didn't have the terminal set up. They had ladders that they used to push out to the planes, and that was right on the Manatee County line. Part of the airport was in Sarasota, and part of it was in Manatee County, which was part of Bradenton. And they had the thoroughbred, a nice stripper joint there on Tiffney Henyard Trail, right by the airport. Teflon Don, you grew up on Anna Maria and Holmes Beach. Okay. So you knew the area. When I was there, this is in the early 80s when I was there, Anna Maria Island was vacant. I mean, you could, I took my boat through, what do you call it? The Intercoastal. And I used to go up towards there like I was going around the corner into Tampa Bay. But I would go to Anna Maria Island and I'd beach my boat. There was nothing. There was nobody there. There was no structures, nothing. Holmes Beach is nice. Very nice. I like that whole area. It's beautiful. Leanne, rolling along. The chick walks south of the border into Mexico and back. Yeah, that'd be it. That'd be it. You probably took your boat, Teflon Don. You probably took your boat through Longboat Key. I lived directly across from Longboat Key. I lived on Indian Beach Road. And if you looked across the bay, I lived right on the bay. It was a cul-de-sac. And if you looked across the key, you could see Longboat Key if you looked across the bay. And it was very interesting. If I went up the street, I forgot the name of that. They had Sarasota Jungle Gardens there. And then I cut over to Tiffney Henyard Trail. I'm trying to remember that name of the street, and I can't. It's a long time ago, guy. We're talking in the 80s. But, yeah, I did go up around Longboat Key. And I went up to Skyway Bridge and went into Tampa Bay. But before that, I went out to Anna Maria Island. I was there. And like I said, there was nothing there. So I'm showing my age. But I'm kind of getting a drift because of your age. Teflon Don, Red, I know exactly the areas that you're talking about. Very beautiful area, that place down there. It is. I liked it. I really did. Had a lot of fun there. But I moved from there to Palm Beach, and I was happier there. And from there, I left Palm Beach County and came up here to Panama City Beach. It's different. Very, very different. I love it. Why are we talking about my life again? Teflon Don, when you said Bradenton, it clicked quite a bit. Bradenton was quite an area at that time. You probably were you there, Teflon Don, when the dog track was open on 301, Sarasota Downs? Any rate, so how many people think that Tiffany's going to get more than 2 years in prison? And how many people think Tiffany is not going to get any time in prison? You were born in the 60s and you've been to the dog track numerous times. Too bad they had to close it. That was Jerry Collins, I believe. He was the owner of the track. I used to go up there. I really did. But I was there probably when you were maybe a teenager. I know they had just built after I was there about 2 years. They built Booker T High School on the south side of Sarasota. And there wasn't anything out by Cattleman's Road. That was all nothing. It was different. Okay, so David Wolfie says she's going to prison. I agree with you. I'm just not sure. Larry C says more than 2 years. I believe it, Larry. BSJ says more than 2 years. I believe that too. I think she's going to get the minimum that Tony Mazzalotti got from Palm Beach County. That was a case that I did also myself. I did that one myself. Well, that's what happened. That's what happened in Palm Beach County that I was talking about with Tony Mazzalotti. He did a plea bargain, and he agreed to something, but they cleaned him out, man. I mean, he was a bum when he got out. Couldn't get a job, nothing. I mean, he's still a bum today. His family supports him. Look him up, Tony Mazzalotti. His father was part of the projectionist union in Chicago. He thought he was a wise guy. Joseph, more than 2 years, Red. If Fat Boy is running for president, this may be an issue for him. Yeah, it could be. It really could be. Teflon Don, my Bradenton buddy. Red, well, I'm sure you've been to all the sandbar restaurants. I worked back in the day as well. Yeah, I remember when they opened the. I don't know. There wasn't any restaurants on Anna Maria Island. There wasn't anything on Anna Maria. I beached my boat on Anna Maria Island. There was nothing there. Zero. Some of the things I did see there, I can't talk about on YouTube. But it was vacant, believe me, totally vacant. It was something that was interesting. The only restaurant that I remember one was when I ran into Jimmy Baker, the evangelist, he went to prison for stealing money, and that was over on Tamiami Trail, and I forget the name of that restaurant, but it was right close to Bradenton. It was right across to the airport. And the other restaurant that I spent a lot of time at was the Boathouse at the Hyatt. I lived there for about a month until I found a house. And a lot of those things are gone, like, I don't know, the Ringling Hotel that used to be there. I'm told that they put a 5-star hotel there. But you remember Lawton Childs, huh? Well, yes, I remember Lawton Childs too. He was from Polk County. He wore a coonskin cap. I remember him quite well. And I pushed him up there because he was running against one of the Bushes. I've always been political all my life, and I did not want Jeb Bush in. and we dug him up, and we got him on the Democratic ticket, and he made it. It was slim, but he made it. And Lawton Childs is a good man. I like Lawton. Very good man. I believe he died in office, if I'm not mistaken. I got to tell you something. The bitch ain't smart enough to keep her mouth shut. She really isn't. She never read her rights. The right to remain silent? Huh. She's killing herself with her own mouth. She is the cause of her own problems. Nobody else dumped this on her. She's the cause of her own problems. It's just that way. Just for a moment, Teflon Don. Places that I haunted were like Marina Jack's, Sonny's Beans. Sonny's barbecue ribs. I used to go up in Bradenton for those. That was definitely a good area. No, she can't keep her mouth shut. If I was in her position and I have absconded and the public was complaining about it as much as they are. And I had two people that are turned government witness. They're actually working with the government right now. They were charged. One of them, and he's working. He's cooperating 100% because he doesn't want to go to jail. And I'm sure he'll testify. And whatever they know right now is not before the grand jury yet. And once it goes before the grand jury, it's in the grand jury minutes, then it'll show up in court. But that's the way it is. As somebody told me a long time ago, and I believed in this in so many ways, I just looked at it and said,
somebody going to jail.
Wow. Somebody going to jail. Yeah, she said it herself.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman.
That's the sad part right there. It really is. She pulls the race card. For what? Oh, Julie, yeah, she's not showed up today. How you doing, Lonnie? Lonnie, would you believe it has been 6 months? There's cigarettes sitting here, and I don't smoke them. Talk about willpower. I have willpower. Or as some people around me say, I have fear. When my doctor told me my leg was not going to get better unless I stopped smoking, I stopped smoking. I am curious what happened to Julie, though. Dave and Wolfie. You know, I got a feeling she's stupid enough to argue with the judge, Tim Hunt. I really do. I really think it's going to happen. Lonnie, thank you so much for your thoughts. And hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Just left Walmart. Unbelievable, your accomplishments of non-nicotine smoking. It's bad for all of us, I guess. I didn't have a problem with it, though. Red, I live off Riverview Boulevard, now Northwest Bradenton, which is historical road in the area. Yeah, Sonny's is fantastic. It's off of 14th Street. And the thoroughbred is still there. I almost bought that place, man. Yeah. I went to the Club Mary's instead and talked to Mary. Mary was retiring. And I got my nose involved in that. That's a good story. Someday I'll talk about it. Club Mary's. That's where I met, where I saw Chesty Morgan. And for those of you that don't know who she is, look her up. But quite an individual. Yeah, I used to drive down Tamiami Trail to get to Sonny's, and they had the best ribs, and they had the best baked beans, the best cornbread. They had the best everything, and I used to buy them out and head home. Make a right-hand turn and cut over. Bayshore Road was the road that I was close to, and then I turned in on Indian Beach Road, and I lived right on the bay. I had 17 acres there. That whole place used to be an orange grove. Actually, where you live used to be an orange grove too, years and years ago. We're talking about back in the 30s. But anywho, folks, it was very nice talking to all of you, and very nice to see you show up. And I want to thank you, one and all. And Adam and I will be on Wednesday together. And afterwards, we're going to do a show on my channel. Adam will jump over to my channel. So I'll look forward to seeing you folks. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm reading comments as I'm going here. Lonnie, you know about Chesty Morgan. Yes. She was something else. She really was. I talked to her. I got to meet her, but I didn't know her. She was very different. She had arthritis that was so bad. Largest chested woman I ever saw. I don't know what her real name was. Well, Red, when you lived on Bayside, there was a fantastic fishing sport. I didn't live on Bayside. I lived on Bay Shore. I didn't live on Bay Shore. Bay Shore is where I made my right-hand turn if I was coming from Bradenton to go on to Indian Beach Road, which was further north towards, at that time, well, it was towards the Hyatt, up there, up in that direction. That's a nice Hyatt, too. I lived there for about a month until I bought a house. I really like that area. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. Midwest Lee, good to see you, and thank you too. Thank everybody. I thank you all, one and all. It was great to see you. And Christina Morris, I guess we'll see you Wednesday also. Remember, if you see me, I'm going to see you. So, folks, what can I tell you? I want to thank you all again, and God bless every one of you. And we got the holidays coming up here. Let's all get along and be good to each other. All this political crap, it's over, man. It's not going to change you. The only thing that's going to change you is that handheld device, the information that you get off of it. But until then, it's Red Wemette out. God bless you.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.